Hi, and welcome to Board with Life News for November 25th. Today I'm going to talk about Raptor, an Albert Einstein game, Village and Village Inn coming to the US, Simon's Cat, the card game, as well as a Kickstarter for Shinobigami. Alright, let's get right into it. Hey, I'm Chris. Welcome to Board with Life News. I am just getting over the con crud left over from BGG Con that a lot of people caught, because you know how cons are. But we had an amazing time. We premiered episode 3 of Board with Life, the series there, and the audience seemed to really enjoy it. We also premiered the trailer for Board with Life Season 2 there, and we did that online on Monday, so definitely go check that out if you haven't already. I am going to be taking December off like I normally do. I'm going on my honeymoon and all sorts of fun stuff in December. So the only video I'm going to be posting as far as my stuff goes is my annual stocking stuffer gift guide. That's a gift guide where I tell you games that are under $30 that could fit in a stocking that you should give to your loved ones. Alright, now into board game news. Asmodee has announced Raptor, which is designed by Bruno Cathala and Bruno Feduti. This is an asymmetrical two-player game. One player plays a team of scientists tracking down and capturing baby raptors, and the other player plays as the raptor trying to keep their babies from getting stolen. It says it's a fast-paced, card-driven game. It seems like it's going to have dinosaur miniatures and stuff, so that's pretty exciting. Yeah, and they're great designers, so it'll probably be good, I guess, if you're really into stealing little baby dinosaurs from their loving mothers. To celebrate the 100th anniversary of Albert Einstein's theory of relativity, very exciting occasion. I'm sure that we all were prepared for this because I've just been counting down the years. I remember starting in like 1987. I was 2 years old, just counting down to eventually the 100th anniversary of Albert Einstein's theory of relativity. But they are going to celebrate, and Artana, the publisher, was commissioned to make a game for Albert Einstein. I imagine this is in direct response to the fact that Artana made Tesla versus Edison, which was very popular as well as very well received in the scientific community. Actually, Dirk, the designer of Tesla versus Edison, talks about in the most recent Game Design Roundtable podcast kind of getting to go to Thomas Edison's laboratory and like sit in his chair and stuff like that because of the game, which is a sort of interesting thing where he made a game and therefore now in the scientific community is kind of this hot dude, clearly as illustrated by getting commissioned to make an Albert Einstein board game. But it's, I imagine, going to be interesting right now. I think they're working on Chronicles, which is like a legacy game coming out from Artana that I got to see a little bit of at BGG Con. But yeah, anyway, so for all you Albert Einstein fanatics out there, you'll finally get your game. Stronghold Games announced that they picked up the US distribution rights for the Village games and expansions. This is both Village and My Village, which came out this year. Village won the Kennerspiel de Jaar back in 2012, 2013, one of those 2 years. And it was an interesting worker placement game where you, at points, want your workers to grow old and die, which was kind of cool that your workers actually died, right? My Village came out at Essen this year. I've had a chance to play it. It's the dice version of Village, but not really. Normally you think of a dice version as being like a lighter version, and it's not at all. It might even be a little bit heavier than Village. Really good, interesting game there. So first is going to come out Village, and then My Village, and then the expansions Village Inn and Village Port for Village, and those will all be coming out early next year. Steve Jackson Games announced Simon's Cat, the card game. This is based off the popular YouTube series, animated series about Simon's Cat. This is a 3 to 6 player game, and I'm going to quote the information we have about the game. Go around the table playing cards to escape Simon's attention. Get caught, and you get blame. Get too much blame, and you get fed last. So this seems like clearly Exploding Kittens did super duper crazy well on Kickstarter, pairing up famous kind of cartoonist with a board game. So I feel like this is probably because of that. Hopefully there's some Simon's Cat fans out there that really want this game. I'm sick of Albert Einstein. This week's Kickstarter is for the RPG Shinobigami. This is by the same company that brought over the Japanese RPG Ryutama. They did a fantastic job with that. And that's kind of what they're doing right now, is they're bringing over a bunch of Japanese RPGs, which is very exciting. This is a one-shot RPG that plays in about 4 hours, and they describe it as equal parts story-driven RPG, German-style board game, and social deduction game, like Werewolf. So that's very exciting. Has really, really great artwork. They're getting tons and tons of scenarios written by a super diverse global community of RPG authors, which is really cool and really exciting. It's exciting to see minorities and people from other countries and women being asked to write scenarios. I'm very happy about that. It is $22 right now on Kickstarter, so if that sounds interesting to you, go back it. All right, that's the news for this week. Thanks so much for tuning in. As I said earlier, I'm going to be out month of December. I'll be doing my stocking stuffer gift guide video, and then I'll see you in January, and we will be ramping up for Board of Life, the Season 2 premiere in February then, which is very exciting. Make sure you like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Twitter so that you can stay up to date when I'm not here giving you all the news. This week's question comes from a whole bunch of people. The general question I was getting asked is some form of, what were your favorite games from BGG-Con? My favorite games from BGG-Con were Isle of Skye, which is a tile placement game. And the tile placement is kind of secondary to, there's an economic system where you choose the cost of tiles, and if people pay you the cost that you ask for, then you get that money, where if they don't, then you have to buy the tile, so there's some risk reward there. Very cool. I really like the scoring mechanism. Great game. I also like Sapiens a lot, which is sort of a dominoes game where you're matching like sides of different tiles and those trigger certain actions. You're building it on a board, kind of like Agricola or Caverna or any of those, where you have like a board and you're overlaying it with little cardboard chits. Great artwork from Yellow. Really solid game. Liked it a lot. Dr. Eureka, which is a super fast-paced, super stressful dexterity game where you have 3 like plastic test tubes that stand upright, and then 6 plastic balls, 2 of which are in each container, that are 3 different colors, and you flip a card over and it shows you what order you need the balls to be in and what order you need the test tubes to be in. So maybe you want green, purple, green, red, red, purple. The catch is you can't touch the balls with your hand, and if they touch the table, you're out of the round. So you're like nervously trying to pour one ball from one tube into the next. It's very funny. I could play 2 games of it in a row before I had to stop because I was shaking from anxiety. I loved it. And maybe my favorite game of the con was Blood Rage from Cool Mini or Not, designed by Eric Lang. I had written this game off. I'm not huge into kind of minis on a board style games. It's not that I don't think they're good. It's just not my style of game. But this has like a really heavy drafting element, like Seven Wonders. The conflict, you kind of get to choose when you're in conflict. It's not so much up to like other people making you go into it. I loved it. The miniatures are amazing. And I was thinking about it. Last year, my favorite game from BGG-Con was Dogs of War, which is Cool Mini or Not. Last year, my favorite game from Gen Con was The Grizzled, which is Cool Mini or Not. And this year, my favorite game from BGG-Con is Blood Rage, which is Cool Mini or Not. Which, as a company, I think they generally don't make the type of games that I like. I think they do a great job with it. But it's crazy that all 3 of those, they had my favorite game. So they're doing some interesting stuff there, mixing Euro mechanics with kind of Ameritrash thematic elements, cool minis, stuff like that. Good stuff. Anyways, that is the news for this week. I will see you next week with the Stocking Stuffer gift guide, and then January.